everybody. It's Talk About It Tuesday, and today we're talking National Preparedness Month. And yep, you guessed it, that includes Dorian and any other hurricanes that come our way this season. So today we're going to visit with Bob Pate, our electric director, Chief Knox from the fire department, and Ian Crane, our emergency manager. And we're going to find out just how the City of Concord is preparing not only for this hurricane, but also planning for any deployments to the coast that they may have to take. Also, we're going to tell you how you as a citizen can be prepared for any storms that are to come. We are here with Bob Pate, who's our Director of Electric. Bob, it is National Preparedness Month, and of course we know that Dorian is on her way. Tell us what you're doing as far as in the City of Concord right now.
Right now we basically have had talks with our state agency and also our national agency, American Public Power, and our state agencies, Electric Cities. We're assessing where the storm's going to go, and then we're trying to define what crews we have available and response, whether it be Florida or eastern North Carolina or throughout the state. So we'll be talking with staff this morning, making sure all our material needs are there, anything that we're needing, we're talking with our vendors to make sure they can get us the needed supplies in here pre-storm.
Okay, and what is one message for National Preparedness Month? What is one message that you want to tell every resident of the City of Concord?
Always be prepared, especially in storms. And, have a good stock of batteries, maybe a radio that you can get the storm announcements on, updates after the fact. Always have perishable food, medical supplies for a couple days. These storms like this can cause us to work for a couple days to restore some power.
So with that being said, even though people may not get power on immediately, it is not because personnel are not working, correct?
That's correct. We do a triage type. First thing, we make sure our transmission serves up from Duke, and then once we do that, we go to our stations. Any stations that are down, we start with that and kind of work our way down the system.
Wonderful. Thank you for your time, Bob.
Thank you.
All right. We're now here with Chief Knox with the fire department. Chief Knox, what is Concord Fire doing to prepare not only for Dorian, but for any hurricane during hurricane season?
Okay, so where we are right now with our preparedness is we're working with North Carolina Office of State Fire Marshal to register the resources and personnel that we have available for deployment. North Carolina Office of State Fire Marshal has the procedures in place, and so what we have to do is get with them. We have to register which personnel, what types of resources that we may have available to send to assist with the hurricane. Once we notify them of those resources that we have available, they will make contact with us if they want to deploy us, and then we will go from there.
And Chief Knox, what is one thing that the fire department would like every citizen in Concord and visitor to know and be prepared for?
We would just like for everybody to stay alert. So stay tuned to the weather forecast. Make sure that you're up to date with what's going on with the weather. We would also encourage people, if you're using generators, make sure you don't use generators inside of your home. That's a really big point I'd like to hit on. Also, just be sure that you have plenty of batteries. If you need those for flashlights, be cautious if you're using candles. Just keep that in mind and just be aware.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks.
And now we are here with Ian Crane, our emergency manager. Hi, Ian.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So, Ian, tell us how the City of Concord, in particular, emergency management, how are you preparing for not only Dorian, but for all hurricane seasons, as A, hurricane season is fully upon us, and B, it is National Preparedness Month?
Sure. Well, we're in constant communication with the National Weather Service, just not only tracking Dorian, but any other kind of tropical depressions or systems that may be affecting us in the future. What I'd like to say to Concord is to make sure you have a plan in place. The time to prepare is not during an emergency. So prepare in advance, even if you think we have no chance of being affected. We all know hurricanes can shift overnight, so just be ready.
Awesome. And with the city, what are some different ways that our citizens and visitors can make sure that they're following important safety messaging and preparation messaging, etc., from the city?
Sure. Well, Concord Emergency Management has a Twitter account at Concord NCEM. I post updates and retweet a lot of National Weather Service postings. Follow National Weather Service, follow their guidelines and their track updates on hurricanes. Ready.gov has a lot of good tips for preparing you and your family, whether that be emergency plans, supply list, anything of that nature.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great
All right. Now that we've talked to city officials, let's review some of our social media platforms where you can find the most up-to-date information and preparation messaging. So we have the City of Concord on Facebook. We also have City of Concord Fire, City of Concord Police, and the City of Concord Paget Regional Airport. Then we have our City of Concord Twitter. Also, be sure to follow Concord Emergency Management for up-to-date information. We have our Concord NC Gov on Instagram. And we are active on Nextdoor. So make sure that if you are in a neighborhood that is active on Nextdoor, that you're part of that networking group. Not only will we send out messaging that impacts the entire city, but we'll also send out messaging that impacts your immediate community. As always, be ready. And that means the time to prepare for any future emergency is now. Be prepared, not scared.